Good morning, fellow Nigerians. I would like to give my honest take on what happened at the National Assembly yesterday. What is national about the National Assembly when you cannot get justice? The question is, what is national about the National Assembly when the voice of the people are not nationally represented? What happened at the National Assembly yesterday, to me, was the modification of injustice, institutional collapse, desperate allegiance of politicians, and democratic blackouts. I will even say what happened at the National Assembly yesterday was a scientific dictatorship. Yes, a political modification of injustice. What were the merits of discussion yesterday? There was no principle and merit of debate. No documents were submitted to be reviewed. The president was supposed to submit the gazetted copy and also the compendium of the background analysis at which he derived at a state of emergency and suspension of the democratically elected leaders in Rivers State. There was no debate. There was no review. The compendium is the road to which the president submitted or concluded that Rivers State should be subjected, or the government of Rivers State should be suspended for a state of emergency. It is like postulation of hypothesis, the literature review, the sample, the analysis and conclusion of how the president and his team derive at the danger that is befalling Rivers State and the suspension of the democratically elected leader of the state. Then, what now happens? The National Assembly, the Senate, and the House of Representatives are supposed to have a division after deliberating on the issue to decide what to do, to decide on the outcome of the suspension of the governor of Rivers State. How can you decide or determine a 2/3 majority by voice votes? You in support say hey, and you against say no or nil. I don't know, whatever they say. How can you determine 2/3 majority? How can you determine 240 House of Rep members through a system, incoherent system of voting? No debate, nothing. This is another level of injustice in Nigeria. The injustice in Nigeria, this is gang rape of democracy. Gang rape of democracy. Our democracy is being gang raped. The voice of the people does not matter anymore in the affairs of the state. How do we now determine? How do we now know our senators and our house members, who they voted for, what they voted for, Was it against the suspension and the state of emergency in Rivers State? Or for without proper documentation by the voting system deployed? We have the right to question our leaders, the Senate and the House of Rep members of every state. The constituents has the right to question their representative, to know if our voice were represented. But what happened? Allegedly, Ghana Must Go's have passed hands. The power of the opposition is gone. The ruling party alone cannot decide on this, because you cannot get the 2/3 majority from the ruling party alone without the support of the opposition. Where is the fate of Nigerians? We must be wise. We must be wise. Truth be told, our leaders are the true mirror, reflection of who we are. I know it is easier said than done, but we must stand the ground. We must have a position. We must be in our battle regalia to protect, to elect a good image of who we are in Nigeria. Remember, voice populi, voice Dei. The voice of the people is the voice of God. Another injustice has been created, and history will never forget these people. Thank you so much.